brother, as far as she's concerned. And, she misses him, but she wants what's best for him. And, she thinks about, now that she's actually started praying, she's praying for Kelvin, for him to work out well. I mean,
yeah, I hope it works out well too.
Since we're all here, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good segue into our meanwhile that I'm going to give you real quick. It actually requires any role playing. But as you soar over on the back of your lycanthropic avian friend, as Kelvin soars on the back of him and travels across Barovia, higher and higher into the mountains to the south, it's definitely clear that Davian doesn't know exactly where it is, but that he's close.
Hey, Greg, shouldn't that be Corbinthropic?
Because it's still a lycanthropic. Lycanthrope
no, lycan means wolf.
Well, I know, but for the sake of...
for Davian, he should be a Corbinthrope.
For the sake of all lycanthropes are lycanthropes. Because werewolves... I'm guessing the name is transferred to the other types of animal thropes, because werewolves are the most classic, and I guess if you wanted to think like maybe canonically the first discovered.
Okay.
So I could see that being why, but lycanthrope is actually just a general term for, at least I believe, in real life, for a sickness of the mind where you believe that you are turning into an animal. It doesn't have to be a wolf.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because the Latin for wolf would actually be lupus or lupine.
True.
But yes, anyway.
Sorry.
No worries. You realize after a few hours of him soaring around kind of the same cliff that he doesn't exactly know where he's going, until all of a sudden he says to you, with a mimicry of his own voice, which is weird, "Hold on." And then he dives and comes to rest in this big, open, snow-covered clearing. And you tumble off of him as he lands, and around the time both of the reduction spells end, and you come back to full size. And in front of you are two massive columns made entirely of amber. And it glitters mutely in this golden amber light, or with golden amber light from the dim light cast from the clouds above. And the temple face, which you should be able to see, seems to be completely and totally covered with a rock slide, blocking the entrance. And as Davian shifts back and looks at the rocks, he says, "Oh, just as well. All right. Well, we're not going inside after all. I thought we'd come back out if we did. Instead, now we're isolated enough that we can begin your training. Begin to show you that you have total control over your form, even here in Barovia." And that's where we'll cut back to the rest of our party. Who was, last we checked,
being dumbasses.
Seemingly about to confront the abbot about his flesh golem. But I'll let you kind of take the lead on this, players, because the abbot is just kind of standing there with Vasilka across the table looking at you.
All right. We all noticed, right? Like that we left off with, we all noticed.
Yeah, it has become clear at this point.
All right. Now, Abbott, I may be new to this place, but I do know nobles from my travels and from my previous life, and I must say, um, presenting a, well, less than pristine bride to one that is as well, maniacal as Strahd, whom I have had dealings, as everybody has seen. Uh, that could only end one way, poorly. And even entertaining for a second that it did go well or had the potential to, I think that given you talked about how we must all do the good we can where we can, uh, that you'd be much better served doing what good you do here. Now, I look at it this way: the downside of you not going through with your plan, I'm certain that in your time here you've seen plenty like us come and go. But uh, why don't you let us try what we intend to do? And, well, given the state of the bride to be over there, uh, time is on your side, I would imagine. You could give us this forbearance. What do you think?
You certainly have the time to retrieve a dress. And, there are other preparations to be made. Your fears of Strahd's disappointment. Pardon me, the hounds. Quiet, mongrel folk. On a back. What's up, pup? Okay, that's enough. Go to bed. Good girl. Keep telling us. Good girl. Get your bone. Good girl. Go to bed. I know. Go to bed. Good girl. Get your bone. Get the bone. It's okay. It's just people coming home. Go lay down. She doesn't normally bark at night. Sorry about that, folks.
Glad my dogs couldn't hear that because they would have gone nuts.
Sure.
I had to turn you up because I was having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, sorry. I do have the mic slightly further away than I normally do. I apologize.
That's okay. Now I got to turn you back down.
Yeah. He says, "My child, your concern for the Dark Lord's, let's see,
Wrath.
yes, is
Can anybody hear me?
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I couldn't hear anybody else.
Can you hear us
It
now?
was just blank. I'll try to warn you if I need to unplug and replug. Sorry, go ahead.
He says, your fear of the Master's wrath is unneeded. He is aware of my plans, and in fact has done things to encourage me. I believe he is sick, lovesick, if you will. And I think if presented with the proper vessel for the proper soul, that perhaps the curse on this entire land can be lifted. Taking the good that I've done here, and he motions toward one of the mongrel folk as it brings up a platter full of bread and meat and a jug of wine, will make that seem a pittance. I can free this entire dread realm.
frankly, I think we should take care of his relatives in a nearby building first.
Well,
They're monsters. They need to be destroyed.
even if Strahd has entertained you to this point, in my limited dealings with him, he seemed, at the very least, capricious.
You're not wrong. You are also correct about one other thing. I am old. Older than this place. Before it was a dread realm. I was sent here after it became one. But I have seen much in my time, and if there is one creature I know best, it is Strahd von Zarevich. I cannot be corrupted, my child. My aims are pure and good.
And killing off his relatives make him weaker?
Relatives? What do you mean by relatives, DM to player?
You said that the other building was filled with Zarevich whites.
It was filled with whites that bear the Zarevich livery, but they are not necessarily like of his bloodline. I apologize. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took it as they were like a whole bunch of retainers, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Not
Pretty
me.
much,
I thought they were like all his relatives, and like, can't we hurt him if we take them all out?
Sure. No,
Of course,
that's good
but
logic,
as a
but no, they're
But as a monster hunter, I still want to kill him.
that's also understandable. And the abbot does say, like, if you wish to destroy the whites, I won't stop you. In fact, I might even reward you. And should any of you be harmed, bring the harmed to, well, death. Bring their body back to me, and I can restore life to it.
Tomorrow, you mean?
Or put a cow head on
Yes,
us,
tomorrow.
whatever he's feeling.
What'd you say?
What?
Or put a cow head on us, whatever he's feeling.
A cow head? I don't get the reference.
If you're referring to the mongrel folk, child, that was done at their insistence. The Bellevues wanted to be animalistic. Didn't
Why?
you?
But why so many animals all combined?
Because I just like having the big teeth.
It says, I think it was Otis, the one that has trouble speaking.
Yeah.
But Otis, only one monster would give you big teeth. Why all the others?
Because I wanted them.
Did you? Or
Why
did
do you?
Vin-
Your skin and ears are funny. Why you got a problem with how I look?
I don't have a problem with you. Look,
Sounds like you
But-
do.
No, this is just the way I was made and altered. But
Same
you
here.
have so no, I know, but you you have so many different characteristics. I'm just wondering why you needed so many. I did not want my alterations. They were done in spite of my wishes. So
That's where we differ.
well, okay. I just wondered.
Everyone
Just-
can make an insight check. at
Thank
this
you. That's
point.
exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah, insight on the mongrel folk at the very least. That's what we'll start with.
Ah, crap. Never mind. Well, actually, 10.
Okay.
But I just wonder why so many. Why did you want so many?
He just squints at you, goes,
Why did you want so few?
But I did not do this to myself.
So, why don't you want any? Why does anyone want things?
You realize you feel like you're arguing with like a 6-year-old?
Okay.
And Kaidos and Nero, you both kind of... And what was your result, Artesia?
Sorry,
It's
16.
Concerning my intelligence is only a 10. I can see that.
Everybody else puts together... Vin's still trying to puzzle it out. Everybody else puts together... The Belleviews are fucking nuts.
Oh.
Like, Otis is crazy. And the abbot,
Well,
as you put it together, the abbot's just standing there, like, his eyes are closed, and he just, like, solemn, quiet nod, like, deep breath.
Well, Vin already knows they're crazy. She's just trying to understand why they're crazy.
As Otis kind of shuffles out of the room, the abbot pulls a seat forward and sits down and motions to Fasilka, who now is silent, and takes a seat. Who also takes a seat in a very ladylike and practiced manner. And the abbot will dole out food and pour glasses of wine for anybody else who chooses to sit. But he'll explain as he at least serves himself and Vasilka that. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
What time of day is it?
Hang on.
I think it was getting on towards evening. Is that correct?
Yes, it is afternoon.
So
this would be like supper time. Hang on just a second. I'm trying to think of what I lost. He explains that the Belleviews for several generations now have been quite mad. But at the same time, he didn't see any harm in granting them these changes to their bodies when they so willingly came to him and asked for them. And they've been incredibly helpful in all of his endeavors so far. Go ahead, Sarah.
No, I just wanted to know the time of day and when last we'd eaten as to whether Vin would partake or not.
You probably ate breakfast.
Because she's kind of leery.
I would take a seat, and
That's understandable.
But I think since only we didn't have lunch, I think she would also sit down.
It seems to be a bowl of roasted turkey legs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right, so if we entertain that...
Is Artesia or Kaidos going to sit?
Just let people speak when they're speaking.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
If we entertain the notion that, well, Strahd is in on the plan, then why bother with the subterfuge with us?
I saw how you all tensed when you realized what she was. I've seen many, 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 many adventurers snared by the mists in my time, as you so aptly put. Many of them are quick to treat a flesh golem, or would be, I suppose. I have been working on her for some time. Not all of them have seen her. But many of them would be quick to treat a flesh golem, as your ranger here wishes to treat the whites next door. Of that I do not blame them, by the way. As I said, I can grant you a boon, should you clear the whites out for me. Kaidos will walk over and... Are you taking a seat, or are you wandering around the table?
I'm trying to sit down.
Yeah.
Kind of at the end of this table, because I'm certainly taking a drink of whatever he's dishing.
Oh, yeah.
But in such a way that I have a vantage point of the entrances to the room. Right, because I thought these back here were like windows, right?
They are, yeah.
And so I'm looking at the way in and out of the room is all in front of me.
Cool. Okay. I need to look up...
And not next to anyone else either.
Okay,
So
that's cool.
noticeably.
So you like grab a cup and then walk all the way down to the other end of the table.
Basically, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, you snatch one of the filled goblets from one of the other places and waltz down to the other end of the table and plop down. Let me see. Roll a percent die for me. So 1d100. As you take your first drink of wine.
Just for reference, Artesia hasn't moved.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, just Kaidos, not everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, though. No. 75. Wow. With that roll, as you take the first drink of wine, you get not pulled out of where you are, like you can still see everything around you, but sitting in the chair across from you, not comfortably looking, you can actually see like shadows of his shackles, is Carpedagia, the demon, the incubus. And he looks at you, like his head kind of pops up and he tilts his head, his eyes narrow, and he looks at you and he looks around the room, clearly taking in his surroundings, realizes nobody else can see him, looks at you, puts his finger to his lips, and then puts his feet, well, his cloven feet, massive as they are, up on the table, silently. They should clunk heavily, but silent. He's kind of not there. And he just sits and listens.
So, Abbott, if I believe we're starting to reach some sort of an understanding, you said that many adventurers and those of our type have come and gone. So, what harm would it be for us to do what we plan to do, and for you to save your plan for after we're gone, after we've exhausted ourselves? I can't imagine that there's too much of a lifespan for those of our type around here.
No, as a matter of fact, Strahd either consumes them or turns most of them. You'll find many vampiric adventurers across the land, I'm sure, in your travels.
Kaidos repeats what the Abbott says. So you say, and then kind of tries to repeat what he says.
Okay.
Guys, I'm going to unplug and plug in again because I keep losing a lot
Okay.
of stuff. So mind your ears.
I'm gonna mute you real quick
Alright,
on
yeah.
Discord.
Okay.
Hold on. Let us know when you can hear us, Sarah, and send in chat and I'll unmute you.
You said yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Alright, you unmuted her, yeah, Greg?
Not yet, no. Where did
Yeah,
she say yes?
that's what I was saying. She said yes.
Oh, okay. Alright, all set? Should
Yep.
be able... Alright, cool.
Make sure you're plugged all the way in, so that they're seated all the way.
Yeah.
Yes,
There you
they
go.
are.
Alright, yeah, that's
Alright, so Kaidos, what was the last thing that you did? You said that you tried to basically repeat what the abbot said back to him?
Right, and I hear what the Abbot said, and I basically, so you saying, and then say what he said back.
The abbot's like, yes. Kind of squints at you. How long do you think you would need? I'm very close now. Truly,
Well,
with a bridal gown, I could present her as a vessel for Tatiana's soul.
I suppose my proposal is that we retrieve your gown such that you can pursue your plan at a later date.
I want to kill the fights first.
Yeah, sure, we can do that as well. Quite frankly, I don't want party to your bridal plan so directly, but if it were to happen when I'm not here, that would, well, I wouldn't stop.
Luckily, the Kreskov woman, whose son I just brought back, is the one who will bear responsibility and name for the retrieval of said gown. You don't even have to do it for me. She could very well go alone. I'm simply requesting...
Oh, come now. You know that would be a death sentence in this place. I've been here 5 minutes.
It could be, perhaps. But she's also a capable woman. She might hire mercenaries of her own right. I am asking you, if you will do this for me, I will pay you handsomely. And to offer my services to return you, should any of you fall, indefinitely.
Yeah.
Bring you back from the dead, as best I can.
I mean, I only speak for myself, seeing as these are new compatriots of mine, but I would ask that you don't go forward with your plan if we so help you with your preparation. Quite so.
I can delay. After all, Vasilka and I do not age, and neither does the Master.
Exactly. So, as either we succeed at what we do, or we're gone. Either way, then you can proceed.
I don't see why this would be a problem.
So,
cheers.
Let me get this right.
He just kind of leans back and looks around Vasilka's shoulders at you.
You want us to go with Martinique? What's her name?
Kreskov. I can't remember her first name.
Yeah, Kreskov.
Lady Kreskov, yeah.
And
Anna.
Anna, that's correct.
Kaidos spells out the whole plan. Go with her to get the gown so you can put it on a flesh column to give to Strahd so that Strahd can put this other woman's soul inside this. That's your plan. Kaidos goes over the whole thing in full detail of whose responsibility is and whose fault and what could go wrong, and just kind of make sure he understands everything that the abbot is asking us to do.
As long as you're accurate, the abbot confirms it.
Yeah,
Again,
he would have been repeating everything the abbot said.
Yeah, it's like verbatim. Again, the abbot is looking at you like
blaming.
Carpedagia, on the other hand, is just watching you from across the table and nodding with a grin on his face.
My friend, is the wine that strong, or have you taken leave of your mind?
No, he does this.
Well,
a lot.
You see, I just need to make sure I'm on the same page as everybody else with what's going down here. Because I wouldn't want things to go awry.
Nor would I.
Carpedagia tilts his head and looks directly at you, as if trying to suss out what you're after. And I'm going to have him make an insight check. And it's going to be contested by your wisdom saving throw. He's going to...
Why am I contesting?
You are contesting him trying to read your mind, if you so choose.
I don't contest.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
He rolls a dirty 20 on his insight.
Wow.
Tell me what you're thinking, my friend. Actually, join me in whispers.
Okay. Okay. So I was thinking about this earlier today, and I kind of chatted with Sarah a smidge about it. I've really been on the fence, teetering and tottering and waffling about really doing everything I can to give in to his plan and finding a way to get him here.
Right.
I don't know what ramifications that has for the party, and so that's the only thing that really makes me waffle. But I'm
Sure.
really kind of leaning that way, like, because I would love to see what
happens.
with
Okay.
the demon and Strahd. It just kind of, I'm like, ooh, that's semi-appealing. I don't know.
Okay.
Right? So
Is Kaido's kind of on that same brainwave? Like, he's like, I kind of want to see this happen.
Yes. So that's where Kaidos is going with this. And so when Kaidos got drunk enough to see him,
Mm-hmm.
and saw that he was paying attention, but maybe, I don't know if Kaidos knew that he couldn't see or hear anybody else, so Kaidos' choice was to essentially mimic and repeat everything that was being said to ensure that the demon was hearing what was going on in the room and knew who we were speaking with, right? So, like,
Yeah.
Kaidos emphasized the abbot or the abbot's name. Mr. or Abbott so-and-so want us to go do this. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that he was understanding the full plan. Kaidos wasn't hiding anything from him.
Certainly.
He was just trying to fill him in on the conversation that he may not have been hearing.
Beautiful. Okay. So as he attempts to read your mind and you allow it, there's basically a bond that's created for a moment. And you realize that he is able to, like, he can perceive his surroundings. He knows where he is, or at least he can see the room, and he can see the people in it, and he can hear it. So he's heard everything so far, but the reason he was nodding is he was basically like, okay, cool, we're on the same page. You want me to do this. So he's reaching into your mind, and you hear him ask, if you want me to come now, I can make it happen right now.
Oh.
Make a toast to the golem, and her body is mine. And you'll have kept your end of the bargain.
Oh my god, okay. Okay, I totally will.
Awesome. Okay. Join me back in the main channel.
Okay.
No, I think Vin is not much a sweet person.
Oh yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what did we miss?
Just talking about food.
Yeah, sure.
No, really,
Actually, we
talking
really
about
were.
food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since food is on the mind, allow me to toast to this wonderful hostess. What was her name again?
Vasilka.
Vasilka. Your welcoming, however you say that, welcoming us into the house. We are so grateful, and I toast to your health and accomplishments. And Kaidos raises his glass for everybody to toast her.
Okay, I'll let you choose performance or deception.
Vin is going to look over at Artesia and just kind of raise her eyebrow.
She's like, what the fuck is
I
going on?
I guess I'll go with performance. So they're pretty much there.
Okay.
Because they're both charismas.
Yeah. I didn't know if you had, like, proficiency in either one. Nice. Okay. Party can roll an insight.
I've only just met the guy, so.
You're like, he's acting weird, but alright, I guess he's drunk.
Yep.
I got
Alright,
another
I raise a
16.
glass.
Dirty 20.
Nice. The abbot raises an eyebrow, but raises a glass, and Vasilka, in a very ladylike manner, will do so as well. Party, you get the weird feeling Kaidos is up to something, but you can't place it.
Artesia's going to, she doesn't have a glass, but she's just going to pipe up and say, yes, thank you so much for your willingness to be a sheep for slaughter. And then just doesn't say anything else.
The abbot kind of glares at you after he takes his drink. And while the two of you are locking eyes, Vasilka sets her glass down after the drink and starts laughing.
Then we'll pretend to drink. But...
It's unsettling because golems aren't supposed to laugh.
Oh, no.
Golems don't have a voice of their own.
You already said that we caught him doing her voice.
Yeah. He's not doing it right now. He's glaring at Artesia.
What?
And as soon as she starts giggling, he frowns and turns from Artesia with a look on his face like, what the fuck is happening right now? And she picks up the glass of wine again and leans back in her chair and goes, woo! The irony is the scars are all in the same place. That's just too bad. But it'll have to do for now. I'm sure I can find all sorts of fun toys here.
What?
Kaidos, all of the hair on your body, except for the hair on your head, but like all of the hair on your arms and the back of your neck is standing on end. Because that's not the voice you expected, but it's the same cadence. It's the same attitude, and you know exactly who it is. It's like when she took a drink of wine, she drank his essence in. And...
Excuse me, I think I need a little air. Then we'll get up and actually step outside the door.
Okay. To step outside the door, you will have to go downstairs and back out.
What?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The door is right here. I apologize. So you go to move outside of the door.
What, over here?
Yes, correct. Sorry, that's my fault. I thought for some reason...
I can't see it because there's black.
Oh, I turned off the lighting. You might need to refresh roll 20. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
I turned off all the dynamic lighting a second ago. So if y'all still have weird dynamic lighting, then if you refresh the page, it'll go away.
All right, yeah, I'll refresh.
Yeah, if I can.
So you get to the door and you open it, and the abbot has, at this point, like, he stood up as you did, and at first you thought it was just like a, what do you call it? Like a courtesy thing. Somebody else stands from the table, so you stand up as well. Vasilka pushes her chair back a little bit and puts her feet up on the table, crosses her ankles, and just drains the glass of wine. You see just the tiniest bit of it leak out from one of the stitched lines around her neck. And she just goes, oh, come on, you couldn't have got the stitching better, Abbot? What's your real name, Abbot? And he takes a step back from her and says, who are you? What are you doing inside of my golem?
Strahd come to play, I suppose, Abbot?
Oh. She kind of glances at you with one blue eye and one brown eye. They're both the cloudy, like, obviously pulled from a corpse. And she just tilts her head and says, no. No. He's not here right now. He's off in his castle. I'm sorry. What's going to be my castle? Where are my... Oh, right. These kinds of bodies don't come with them. And so she reaches backwards with both of her hands and grabs her own shoulder blades and pulls. And there's a sickening crunch and crack as two massive red leathery wings get pulled out of her back. And they, like, stretch and flex and unfold like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis. And she just... Oh, that's
Can
good.
Vin see this from the doorway?
Yes. Yeah, because you saw the abbot like back away from her, and that was enough to get you to stop. And yeah, she lets these big reddish. It's the color of coagulated blood. The skin on these wings are, and she flexes them and then lets them relax and fold behind her back. And she stands up
Artesia's
and
just
bows.
looking at Kaidos like, "What did you do?" Like she has this like surprised look on her face.
She stands up and she bows to Artesia and to Nero and to Vin, and then walks over to Kaidos and just extends a hand. Not like kiss the back of it, but like handshake style. And there's just this big, wicked, oh, you recognize that grin.
Kaidos reaches out and shakes her hand. Firmly, intently.
And he shakes it back and says, "Oh, the deal is completed, my friend. And now I have to keep my end of the bargain. Let's deal with this thing first, because he'll interrupt." And he rounds on the abbot and leaps at him. Everyone, roll initiative.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
This is not what I expected to happen tonight.
Yeah.
Turn order, please.
Let me get a turn order going, sorry, yeah.
6.
I don't know if y'all's showed up on there, so let me actually add turns again. So we will do it this way.
I
Add
suck.
turns. So Kaidos has an initiative of 8. Excellent. How about you,
I showed
Artesia?
up on there twice.
Oh yeah, you did. Weird.
I got a 6, Greg.
Where's
Okay.
Vin?
Oh, I did a... That's why. Excuse me. I did a... God, hiccups all of a sudden. What the hell?
No, I
did a...
hit that earlier too. Okay, alright.
I did a drag and drop, and you were all the way over there, so you didn't get added in the turn order.
There we go.
Okay. Oh yeah. Come here, dice. I need you. Ooh, this is gonna get real interesting real quick.
As if it wasn't already.
Right?
Yeah, I'm really wishing Kelvin was here for smite potential. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Where's Calvin when you need him?
Of course, he wouldn't have talked this far, so probably went into different. I don't know. But in any case,
Sure, yeah. Okay, so though he will have some added spell powers for just for reference for those watching, and even though I know my players don't have monster manuals in front of them, at least I hope they don't, just for sake of reference, because he's possessing the body of a flesh golem, it will still be flesh golem statistics, because that's what I prepped for. I didn't prep for Carpedagia showing up tonight either.
The only thing I looked up was white.
Well, and
Because
that's fine.
Being a monster slayer, undead, you know.
Yeah,
I
and I
figured
think we
you'd
actually
know.
established that last session, where it was like, oh yeah, you can, if you do a roll on it. Okay, so his stats, or his initiative is a 7. The Abbot's is a, oh god.
Oh my me.
Oh my me. Okay, so the Abbot goes first.
No.
Yup.
What the heck are you doing, guys? You just too much wine. Except for Artesia, I don't know. What
I don't
the
see you
problem
going
is.
any faster than the Abbot.
True. It's true. I think I have a handout for this. I should. If I don't, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. Surely there's a monster handout for it.
For what, the golem?
No, for what I'm...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, for the abbot, but not as you know him. So,
Not the abbot.
what happens is the abbot's habit... the abbot reaches up and pulls that funky-looking flying nun hat off. And as he does so, what looks like just the most perfect golden blonde hair, it stops around his ears, it's just kind of floppy, falls about his incredibly handsome face. And then his eyes go solid white with light, and his entire face becomes obscured by that glowing light. He just... where his head was is now glowing, a glowing orb of white light. And as this happens, his human form sheds away, standing there at about 8 feet tall now with massive white feathery wings, and still holding his censer in one hand that he'd picked up off the table. In pretty much a golden loincloth is what appears to be an angel. And he spins the censer with one hand on its chain, and as it comes forward in front of him, it stops unnaturally at an angle, like the chains should have kept going or it should fall back down with gravity. And the censer itself swells into the head of a massive mace, that the 4 points on all corners of the mace are actually outstretched angels with wrathful faces, and their faces make the point of the mace. And the chain coalesces into a massive golden handle that he grips in his hand, and his voice, much bigger now as Vasilka advances, because I'll let her have had the move before initiative started, just says, "Down, demon!" Boom! And he attempts to hit the flesh golem with his mace. Oh my god, and rolled a natural 1. So as he says "down, demon," he actually, even though it's a natural 1, he basically misses because he pulls it at the last second, because he doesn't want to destroy what he's worked on so hard, and you can see that on this angelic Deva face. And let me see, let me double check. He does have multi-attack. So with his second attack, he's going to try and do subdual damage by swinging with the butt end of it, or rather the staff of it, to push the golem back. And that is enough to hit. Easily. Okay, so... Wow, max damage. Okay, so he does 10 bludgeoning damage to the flesh golem. The golden white glow that had been surrounding this mace with the first strike that missed, you notice it leaves a massive crater in the floor as radiant energy comes out of the mace. And then with the second hit, that glow faded before it came into contact with the flesh golem. So Vin, your turn.
Yep. She's moving it back inside. For her bonus action, she's going to do Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
And she is going to strike twice with her bow.
Okay. Does the
At
Hail of
the-
Thorns create terrain, or just does the damage in the area? I can't
No, but the abbot may take damage. There.
Okay.
Hold on. There's a. What is it? What is the?
Can't believe they don't.
It's a Dex 15 saving throw
All
for
right.
the Hail of Thorns
The abbot.
for
will-
both of them.
The abbot will make it. The flesh golem will not.
Okay.
Possessed
So-
golem is what I'm going to start saying, because that's easier to parse in my brain.
Okay. The first shot is a dirty 20.
Hit. At the golem, I take
and-
it?
What's that?
At the
The
golem?
golem.
Okay.
Yes, the golem. And yeah, I did not hit with the second. I rolled a 2. 8 plus the thorns is this. So that is a total of 10.
Alright. 10 points of damage. Alright,
And that's all magic.
excellent.
Well,
Maybe
not
that's-
sorry. The Hell of Thorns is magical, but she has a silver weapon. Silver arrows.
Oh, silver arrows, right. Let's see. Okay, so I actually will need that parsed out. So how much of the damage was magical and how much was just physical? It was just the silver arrows.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
How much damage should I say it was again?
You said it was 10 total. How much was the magic?
Okay. The magic. Uh, 4 points for the
Okay.
magic.
So you notice that the Hail of Thorns seems to be the only thing that touches this flesh golem's body.
Oh.
The non-magical
Okay.
silvered arrow does not seem to cause any damage to it at all.
Okay.
And that being said, the damage that the abbot did to it with the non-magical bludgeoning also doesn't count.
Shit.
Oh, I take it back. His weapon is still magical, so it does count, but he didn't do the radiant damage.
Okay.
My bad. So yes, took the damage normally from the abbot's kind of staff strike from the mace, and then took damage from your Hail of Thorns. Is that it for your turn?
Bonus action, 2 attacks, yes.
Narrow to you.
All right. He'd abruptly stand up from the chair and knock an arrow to say, "Abbot, know that I have no quarrel with you. We
Quarrel.
must put down your beast. Something has taken up residence."
Yeah, clearly. He even says that. He's like, clearly. This weird,
Alright.
deep bell tone to his voice.
So I'm going to just do my two longbow shots, power attacking at the flesh golem.
All right,
That's
that's a hit.
really okay. Great.
Oh yeah,
Thank.
flesh golems don't have a lot of AC. They just have a shit ton of immunities.
All right. So,
Damn.
Yep.
Okay, 21 piercing damage. This arrow fired from a magical bow, as well as the second one. Holy shit!
Ooh.
Does 2 massive chunks of damage. You back up and just, and I see like the quarrels are all that's sticking out, or the quarrels of the arrow, are all that's sticking out from the side of her ribs, and the resulting screech that comes out of her is. You've definitely never heard anything like it before. I would like everybody who can hear this, so everybody in the room, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
18.
Kaidos, you have advantage. I apologize. Or, no, you don't. Never mind. 18 for Artesia.
16 for me.
22.
16 and 22. So everybody who's above a 15 is fine. Kaidos, you will take 4 points of psychic damage, and you are afraid of the golem. You cannot move closer to it. Until...
Say that again?
You take 6 points of psychic damage, and you are afraid of the golem. Until at least the end of your next turn, and then you can make another will save to see if you can beat it. So you can't move closer to the golem, which puts you in an interesting position. Nara, was there anything else for you, sir, before I move on?
No, I was just going to ask if that was as the frightened condition, or is it just a lesser fright?
I guess as the frightened condition would be a good way to put that, because it can't move closer and...
A disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks while the object is white.
Yes.
You know, because fear was Kelvin's jam.
Yup. That is very true.
Yeah, but no, I'm good. I'm all done.
And Kaidos, it is your turn. You are unfortunately afraid of your golem demon friend. Because
So that would
scream
keep me from attacking the abbot.
Correct.
Because I can't get past.
You can't bring
Even
yourself...
if I ran on the table.
All you could really do is... Or I'll draw it rather than actually move you so we don't lose where you are. Not shape.
I know where I'm at. I'm not worried.
But, like, all you could really do is... Because you can't move closer to the... You can't move closer, so I guess not. All you can really do is move along these lines or backwards. Right now,
I
you're
couldn't,
kinda
like,
pinned.
run... I couldn't, like, run on the table around.
Right.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
That's still technically moving closer to her/it, and the reason why is like the
Kaidos'
scream coming
knees-
out of it is like 4 different voices at once. It's very unsettling.
Kaidos' knees will tremble as he does that leaning sit on the table and takes another big drink.
Okay. Nice. Make another wisdom save at the end of your turn. This time with
Wisdom
advantage.
save?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I did a Constitution save.
Constitution
last time.
save this time. Yeah.
With advantage?
Yes, with advantage this time. Oh wait, I guess it would just be the first roll, but you rolled enough, so it's on this one because the DC drops each turn after the scream. So you will not be feared on the next one, and I suppose it wouldn't have been disadvantage. It would have just been a straight roll, because frightened creatures technically have disadvantage on ability checks. And, oh no, but not saving throws, and you're rolling a saving throw. So never mind, you did have advantage, and the 14's more than enough. Right, so that's the end of your turn, though, so that's good. Vasilka will grow claws and attempt to sink them into the abbot. And... Yep, that's a hit. So 18 plus that. Does 14 points of damage and absorbs half of that. Oh, that's why I'm still on my ruler. And you watch as this kind of glowing silvery blood runs over. I keep trying to say Carpedagius. The possessed golem's hand that's half in his gut right now, and gets absorbed into the golem's skin, and he pulls the hand out, and the abbot just goes, "I did not teach you that." And it strikes again and says, "No, no, abbot. This one is new." And hits again for 13 damage, absorbing half of that. that'll be it for the golem, aside from while pulling the other hand back out of the back, basically, of the abbot, like got into a kind of a wrestling pose and crunched into the back. Turns and looks at Kaidos and goes, "What are you waiting for?" Artesia, to you.
Okay. I am going to cast Mage Armor as my first.
Fair.
And I'm going to and I'm going to expend a my spell pool and do a quicken spell.
Didn't you cast Mage Armor like before y'all ever came in here? Isn't that what that spell slot was last week?
Yes.
Was it?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cast it when we were in town.
Your Mage
like
Armor's
before
up.
Before the whole thing in the graveyard with the kid.
Oh, okay. That would have been over an hour ago. But is Mage Armor an hour or 8 hours?
Mage Armor's like 8 hours, isn't it?
Okay, well then, yeah, Mage Armor's still up.
Or
yeah,
is it still
8
that
hours.
long?
Save
it's
your
8
slot.
hours.
Save
Okay,
your
cool.
spell slot.
Well, if that's the case, this is just a player action, not an out of character action. But
Okay.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on Kaidos.
Ooh.
Wisdom saving throw. Let me see. The target choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, the spell ends on target. So do I have to roll anything?
He has
No,
to roll a
it's
wisdom
just
saving
a-
throw. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your DC?
My DC. Let me go back to that page. Sorry.
Unless he wants to be held. He can choose to
I
fail.
very much doubt it.
Depends on if he's a double, triple agent or not.
16 is the spell save, Dan.
Okay.
Well, do I have to do it immediately or just on my turn?
Oh no, right now.
Right now.
She's casting Old Person on you as we speak.
What would that feel like?
I always imagined it like, you know how when somebody hugs you, but they hugs you a little too tight, like that kind of feeling, like you can't move, and it's like a pressure that's like closing in on you, and you can't do anything about it. Like you can feel that I'm attempting to hug you too tight.
Magically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like what I do to my baby. Okay.
Exactly.
We do
It's
not
funny,
condone
I-
child abuse.
that's
Rambling Bard show.
Normal. I just roll normal on that.
Yeah. Just 1d20.
Oh,
Damn it.
with a
You made
19.
it.
You see as Artesia reaches out and
Wow.
tries to cast the spell that would hold you in place, and you just kind of go, no. And the pressure is gone, just like that.
I raise my finger and wiggle it.
You didn't say the magic word.
Artesius just yells again, "What did you do?" And that's her turn.
Okay. The abbot. Sorry, I'm reading. Yep. Baseball swing. Yeah, that's a hit. That is also a hit. Do they have immunities to radiant? Or resistances? No, they do not. This is going to hurt a lot.
I'm okay with it.
So that's 1d6. Oof. Okay, let me grab all the dice. I'm sitting here stressing because I don't know what this is going to mean for us. But hey, cool. So... it's 5 and 10 is 15. 15 weapon damage. Why can't I ever roll this good as a character? That's so not fair. Okay, so a grand total of 31 radiant energy and 15 weapon damage. Ouch. Oh, click the right mini. There we go. And both of Vasilka's arms come off. As he pretty much just bats both of them off of her shoulders to the ground.
What happened? It went blank for me again.
The abbot hit Vasilka and just bashed both of her arms off by doing 31 points of radiant damage and 15 points of weapon damage as he hit either shoulder with each strike.
Wow.
And he just looks at her and goes, "You would have worked, but you got destroyed by some demonic incursion." And Vasilka just tilts her head, looks back at him, and spits coagulated blood all over his face. Or at his face, which just kind of disappears into the light. And Vin, to you.
Shit. I've been trying to look. I don't. Stop doing that. It seems like I need magic to do something to these things.
Yep, some sort of magical weapon.
Yeah.
You know your short sword is magic.
Don't you have a short sword? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do, but I can't reach. Can't get there.
You're not afraid, though, either, so you can get up there. You can always jump over the table, too.
1, 2, 3. Can I jump up onto the table? Hello?
Yeah.
How far can you go?
You
Because
go
there's
30 feet.
25. 30
Yeah,
puts you behind her.
Yep.
Or up on the table.
I can do 30.
25 is right here next to her on the table. 30
Okay.
is directly behind her.
I'll take that. Directly behind her.
All
There
right.
we go. Oops. Missed
Artesia
spot.
just yells as an action, "We've got to get out of here. We've got to move. Stop fighting. We got to go."
Well, I'm going to attack her.
That's 35.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her. Go ahead, Vin.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I am going to. I know it's not going to help, but I am going to, for my bonus action, since my second sword is not magic, I'm going to use what the hell is it called? Slayers?
Hunter's Mark.
Slayers? Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark. Yes.
Okay. So she is Hunter's Marked. Go ahead and roll
Mark.
the hit.
And roll to hit. Ew, that's not good. 8, 13.
13's a hit. Roll damage.
Oh. Plus the Hunter's Mark, which is these. So that's 14 plus 1.
Damn. So 15 damage.
And I'm going to hit again.
You don't have to.
Oh.
Because as you swing your short sword, you like jump over the table and just both hands on your short sword dive through towards the hearth there and literally cut this thing in half at the waist. The torso slides a little bit to the side and then drops off of the legs before they collapse in opposite directions. And the head turns up and looks at you and goes, "Oh, well struck. This is frustrating. Appears I was a little too hasty. That's fine. I can be patient." And it just seems to wilt and almost deflate a little bit as it oozes out what little was packed into the torso and loses the ability to speak, and the body goes completely limp. The abbot glares at Kaidos.
Oh, he's not the only one.
But do we know it came from?
They shook hands.
Oh,
Yeah. Anything else, Vin? No, you bonus action moved and attacked, so that should be it.
I bonus action moved and attacked. I'm done.
Nero.
I call back to Artesia. Still interested in leaving, or shall we try to restrain your friend here?
Oh, we're taking him with us, but we need to go, and we need to go now. And she's just eyeing the angel guy, like, with actual fear in her eyes.
They need to get those.
All right. Well, you heard the lady, my friend. I'm going to declare non-lethal, and I'm gonna do my power attack.
Oh shit!
Can you tell me how you're non-lethaling an arrow for me?
Yeah, you aim for non-vital spots.
Sure.
You know,
and that's
like
totally
a
fine.
shoulder or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
right.
You go for, oh, this gonna hurt, but
it ain't
not
gonna kill you.
but it ain't gonna kill you.
Gotcha. All right. It's
So
like
I'm
calf
like,
muscles.
Oh yeah, just looking for the most. This is gonna stick in there, kind of pain.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is a 16 enough to hit, Kairos? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm sorry, it kind of cut out there. Did that hit?
Sorry, yes, it kind of 16 hits.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, 24 piercing damage. Holy shit.
take a bite of that shoulder for a while.
Yep, another hit.
That also hit.
Oof.
So you take 44 piercing damage as you get an arrow in one shoulder and an arrow in one of your calves that you had just crossed up on the table. How you looking?
I'm minus 5 points.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Make a Constitution saving throw. Since this was non-lethal, as you hit 0, you'll get to make a Constitution saving throw to maintain consciousness. But no death saves. Holy shit! Okay. You maintained consciousness at 0 hit points. Holy fuck.
Okay then.
Then we'll move to drag him out.
All right.
Well, you're not going anywhere yet. It's not your turn.
And let's
I'm
see.
just saying.
Seeing that he's not gone down.
He's just kind of
I
that
will
drunk,
not.
stunned, like, you shot me.
Yeah. And now I'm going to what is that window over by Artesia? Is it like a full length window? Like, what are we talking?
Yeah, that's a good 6.
Okay, run and dive out the window.
Hell yeah.
Because
Acrobatics.
I'm
check.
like, yep, here we go.
Whew. This is great. I love it.
Whoa.
Okay.
Nice.
You're able to crash out the window. You will take 6 points of piercing damage. Make one more acrobatics check.
Okay.
Yeah, acrobatics is fine. It's not that high up. It's only about a 15-foot drop. More than enough. And you land deftly on your feet. Kind of cut up because that glass was thick. You were not expecting that, but it worked. You are there. Kaidos. Assuming Nero, you're done.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Kaidos, you have 0 hit points, but you are conscious and stable. And though the body of the golem is no longer moving and is mostly, well, mush now, you hear Carpadagia's voice clearly in the back of your head say, Hey, I don't blame you. We both acted a little rashly. It's cool. If you want, I can pull you out of there and put you somewhere safe. Or I can leave you to your friends. But you have to decide right now.
Trying to hold himself up with a arrow-pierced shoulder, Kaidos takes his free arm and drinks the last swig of the wine of the goblet and throws the goblet into the fireplace.
All of you see this. The abbot starts his advance on Kaidos, lifts off the ground with massive wings, and charges forward at Kaidos with the mace behind him, glowing with golden light. And you see this tiny little, about the size of a manhole cover, portal open up. And beyond it is pretty much nothing but darkness and a little flicker of light created by 2 pinpricks of yellow. And then a mottled red hand comes out of the portal, grabs Kaidos, and pulls him backwards through it. And the portal closes as the abbot swings at empty air. And that
boy.
Fussy fuck?
is where we're going to stop for tonight.
Oh no!
No!
Wow.
Woo!
No!
Oh, that was so cool! Guys, that was so
amazing.
cool.
That was amazing, Dan.
Oh, that was
Holy
sick.
shit.
Oh, that was so much fun. Dan, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was
Oh
nuts.
my gosh.
I was gonna say, let's do a real quick party check. We had somebody heel turn tonight, which was not totally expected at all, and I am down for it. God, that was cool. Is everybody okay? We all good? We all cool?